Hello friends, welcome to the Alankar Pharmacy classes again, and in this video I will explain about the shell and tube heater. So be with me till the end of the video to understand this topic. This is another very important topic in the heat transfer. So without wasting our time, let's start. First of all, what are these heat exchangers? These heat exchangers are basically devices used for transferring heat from one fluid, which may be a hot gas or steam, to another liquid through a metal wall. And this video explains single pass tubular heat exchanger, which is a simplest form of the tubular heater or shell and tube heater. So first of all, its principal part. According to the zeroth law of the thermodynamics, which states that the systems that are in thermal equilibrium have the same temperature. Thus, in order to achieve the thermal equilibrium between two systems that are in close contact with each other, there is transfer of heat from heated system to colder system. In this type of heat exchangers, the metal tubes are heated using steam. The liquid to be heated is on the other side of the walls of the tubes, which is heated by the conduction from metal walls. The layers of liquid near to the metal walls get heated first, and then heat is transferred to the another layer by convection. So in this way, conduction and convection both plays an important role for transferring heat from steam to liquid. Regarding its construction, as you can see in this figure, it consists of a thin-walled bundle of a parallel tubes fitted between two tube sheets. The bundle of tubes is enclosed in cylindrical shell or casing in which tubes are fitted. Shell is cylindrical in shape with a circular cross-section diameter of usually less than 0.6 meter, which is about 2 feet. The shell part is usually made up of cast iron. As we know that the cast iron is not a good conductor of heat, so this will prevent the loss of heat to the surrounding. There are basically two distribution chambers at the both ends of this casing. The fluid inlet and outlet is provided in the different distribution chambers. Steam is introduced from the steam inlet, and there is a separate outlet for the removal of a non-condensed gases still in the vaporized form and the condensed vapor. Regarding its working, steam is introduced through its inlet into the space surrounding the tubes. The fluid to be heated is introduced through separate inlet and allowed to flow through tubes. The liquid present in tubes get heated due to the high temperature of the steam present on the other side of the walls of the metal tube. The condensed vapor drains through condensate outlet, and any non-condensate gases escapes from the outlet provided at the top of this equipment. Although the steam and liquids in tubes are physically separated, there is a transfer of heat from the steam to liquid by conduction through thin tube metal walls. The layer of liquid close to the walls of the tubes heated first, and other layers are then heated by convection process. Thus, in this way, both conduction and convection mechanisms are responsible for heat transfer in this case. For maximum heat transfer, the velocity of the liquids in tubes is usually kept low. Now regarding its advantages, since there are large number of thin tubes are there, and this will provide the large heating surface resulting in high net heat transfer. This is a robust, reliable and a low maintenance equipment due to the absence of joints. It can be custom designed for any capacity from small, that is from 0.1 meter square to over 105 meter square surface area. This is designed for variable operating conditions. For example, it can be operated at very high pressure over 100 megapascals and can handle temperature up to 1100 degrees Celsius and any temperature and pressure differences between the fluids. This can be made from the variety of metals and non-metals. For example, graphites, glass and Teflons are the few examples. There are some disadvantages also. The first disadvantage, the velocity of the liquids in tube is kept low so that there will be an adequate heat transfer. Other disadvantage is this, the fittings of the shell and tubes become loose after prolonged use due to the difference in temperature. And lastly, regarding its uses, heat exchanger can be used for the purposes of heating as well as cooling for large-scale industrial process fluids. Industrial applications such as power plant generations, petroleum, oil and gas industries, chemical processing plants, transportation, air conditioning and refrigeration, heat recovery and other industries are using these equipments in their routine operations. And as far as for pharmaceutical point of view, this is a closed system and thus security in aseptic processing is very important, and this equipment is sometimes used by the pharmaceutical industry for this purpose. Moreover, it can handle the noxious or toxic gases since it is a closed system, and that's why it is also used by the chemical industry in some operations. So this is all with the today's class. Hope you all have liked this video. Please share with your colleagues who are in the search of this topic. Thank you friends.